spinning. Try to work it out, it's spinning. Ever since our hearts been missing.
Hi, hello everyone! It's me again, Pamela Jean Dayo, your BSHM student. And for this video, we are going to make my final exam in bread and pastry laboratory, and that is chiffon cake with fondant icing. So without further ado, let's bake it.
Of course, the very first procedure is prepare the ingredients. Separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. Then measure all the ingredients. I made this sound exciting and a little bit intense because in every laboratory I feel like I'm on a war aiming for a victory and the mission accomplished. And now let's do our meringue. Beat the egg whites and add the cream of tartar. Up next, gradually add the sugar and continue beating. Beat in high speed until it forms into peak. It's time for cake batter. Whisk the egg yolk together with the salt. And now add the sugar. Continue whisking until the sugar dissolves. Now let's add the vegetable oil and also the vanilla. Add the water. Then sift the cake flour with baking powder into our batter. Continue whisking until there is no lumps. Mix the meringue by batches into the cake batter. Mix like you are folding from bottom up to the top. Now I'm pouring the butter into our 6x6 round pan. Tap it for a few times and bake into your preheated oven for 30 to 35 minutes into 160 degrees centigrade. Now 5 minutes before its bake time, let's lower the temperature into 150 degrees centigrade. Remove it immediately from the pan and then cut the dough. Now for our second layer, this time I'm using 7x7 round pan. Tap again for a few times and then bake again for 160 degrees centigrade for 30 to 35 minutes. Five minutes before bake time, lower again the temperature into 150 degrees. Remove immediately from the pan and then cut the dough. Now let's cut our chiffon into half. Then set aside and let it cool. To coat our chiffon cake, we will make buttercream. Now, cream the butter. the butter, add the milk. Next, gradually add the sugar and then continue beating. Next, fill the chiffon cake with our buttercream. Then crumb coat using our buttercream again. For the second layer, repeat the procedure. As you can see, my chiffon cake has torn apart, but I managed to fill in the gaps and make it whole. Crumb coat again and chill for 30 minutes in the refrigerator. Now it's time to make our fondant. Add the 6 tablespoons of water into our 175 grams of marshmallows. Boil it into low heat and then stir the marshmallows until it dissolves. Add the powdered sugar into our dissolved marshmallows. Knead it until it forms into ball. And then cover it with plastic and let it rest in a room temperature. And now let's knead it with a rolling pin and of course with the sprinkled powdered sugar. It's time to cover up our chiffon cake. Cut the excess using a scraper. Now let's make some colors into our fondant. I put a drop of black colored gel into our fondant. And this is what it looks like. Next I tried the liquid coloring, the blue one. And this is what it looks like. Then I tried the pink one. This is the hardest part among the procedures. I'm not good when it comes to designs, but then I know all of us have different creativity. This is the part where it tests my patience, my critical thinking, because really, I can think of any designs for my chiffon cake, and my mind said, bahala na. After all, this cake will serve as my journey to bread and pastry laboratory. And also, this is one of my firsts in making a fondant cake. Now I brush it with water with a jam and put all the designs on the chiffon cake. So many firsts, but definitely will never be the last time. During the first day for bread and pastry laboratory, I was so excited. There was no words for joy, excitement, and eagerness to learn how to make delightful tasty breads and pastries. All of the laboratory activities that we've done was my first time doing it. Moreover, this is my last creation. I was so proud of myself while making this one. My journey in baking wasn't easy like what I'm expecting to be. I encountered a lot of failures and disappointments as those encountered by a common first-timer. This cake entitled First Creations is not perfect, but it represents someone who shines in every circumstances and accepts all the failures in first attempt in learning. And I am proud to say that someone is me. Again, this is First Creations, and this is not yet and will never be the end of all the firsts along with my journey in baking.